Hi there, this is Niki Rowland, and today I am guest designing for Confessions of a Paper Addict and those fantastic cut files she has in the store. Today is a release called The Great Outdoors, and there are about 21 cut files in this release, and I have the pleasure of playing with a few of them. So for the layout that I'm doing today as my guest design, I've used this really cute little teepee. Isn't it cute? I've cut it 3 times out of pattern paper, so I've chosen 3 different pattern papers, and I've cut them from there, and then I've backed them with white cardstock. So I just cut my white cardstock out. I cut an outline of the cut file as well on white so that I could literally just stick them together. So that's what I've done there. So I've got the pattern paper, teepees, 3 of them, and they're all backed with white cardstock. I'm just preparing my background. I've cut out the middle of that piece of paper, and I have put a piece of white cardstock on the background and drawn a black border edge around it. And then I'm just going to get my teepees roughly in place, so I know that I want them to kind of be a center point in my layout. So I've got the 3 of them, and I just want to offset them slightly against each other. So I have the big orange one in the middle, and then the 2 smaller blue ones on either side, and then I'm going to tuck my photo just in that section there. So I really love this little campfire that was on the papers. This collection that I'm using is called Summer Adventure, and it's by Echo Park. It's great for this release. Basically, all of this whole Confessions of a Paper Addict, the Great Outdoors release, is all about hiking and camping and being outdoors, basically. So yeah, this collection was brilliant for that. So I'm just fussy cutting a few bits out there, the campfire and the little tent with some trees and things, and I just want to create something. I want to create a photo stack, or a photo stack behind my photo, cluster or layers behind my photo. And so what I'm going to do for that is just cut out some more pattern paper. So this one of the pattern papers that I cut one of the teepees from is a navy blue on one side, and it has campfires all over the other side. So I've just cut 2 pieces 3x4 and distressed the edges, and then I'm going to pop those behind my photo and kind of offset them a bit to give myself an interesting paper stack going on there. And I just felt that my to the left of my photo didn't have much going on. The teepee edge falls away, and I needed to extend out the base of my photograph. So I've just put that circular element there, and that brings that out a bit more. I've gone and added black machine stitching around the edges of those 2 paper layers that I'm going to put behind my photo, so they've just got a bit of extra definition and some texture going on now. And I have a yellow label sticker to the right. I don't think it's a sticker, I think it's a piece of ephemera, and I have this tag that's a piece of ephemera as well. I'm just tying some gold thread through the tag. I tend to just wrap my thread around the hole and secure it on the back with tape rather than actually tie it in any way. So that's what I've just done there, and I'll bring in the gold thread elsewhere on the layout as well, because I do like my tangles of gold thread or silver thread. I'm just getting my paper layers stuck down now. Basically, I wanted that whole stack to be in place and ready for me to add the remaining embellishments to the layout. So I'm just getting all of those stuck in place. I'm using multiple foam pads. I've added some extra twine there, and just to give my layout lots of dimension and interest and texture, basically. I'm adding in those 2 labels just at the bottom of my photo. They've got some cute words on. Roughing It is one of them, yeah, so just getting that stuck in place and just putting off some stickers from the sticker sheet, and just to add some extra colour. The teepees are orange and then both quite dark navy, so I wanted to bring some more colour into this layout, which is why I chose the border outline of the layout that I did. It's a sheet that is blue sky with little tents all over it, and you can't really tell that from the border, but it just gives this lovely colour, pops of yellow and orange and green and blue and white. So it really lifted the layout, because it did look a bit dark when it was just the orange and the 2 navy blue teepees. So yeah, just lifting it up with some colour, yeah, everything's all kind of stuck in place now. I'm just getting some last bits and pieces stuck down, adding another twiddle twine to the right of the teepee there. And I've pulled up my little teepee on the right hand side so many times that it lost its sticky, so I had to add some extra foam pads. So now I want to add my title, and I want to add the title Happy Camper. So I've pulled out some older letter stickers, so they're navy with a gold line going through them, those ones. They're chipboard, and I just want to, I'm sticking those to a piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to cut around it. I've also sewn through them with my sewing machine, just because sometimes chipboard letter stickers fall off, and so I tend to try to attach them with thread or with glossy accents, and on this occasion I've done thread, so I've just stuck those onto a piece of paper, stitched through it, and then I'm cutting round the edge just to give it a small white border. This works really well because then I can place this title on anywhere on my layout and nothing will show through between the letters. And now even though I've done that, I really struggled with this title, the title placement, because it didn't look right anywhere. I really struggled. I put it in a couple of different places and I wasn't happy with it. I'm now putting the word camper onto white card as well, so I can place that anywhere on the layout as well. Basically this just gives me more options, because I originally had camper down the bottom just on the plain white. But if I have it on a white background, then it gives me more options. I can move it around more and it can go on top of other embellishments that are already there. So I thought about this placement. That was initially where I wanted to have my title, was down on the left hand side, but no, it wasn't to be, and it ended up trying it again there, really trying hard here, but eventually I do settle at the top part of the layout there, so right next to the photo, which works really well. Yeah, this works okay. I say it wouldn't necessarily have worked if it didn't have the white background behind the letters, but with that white background it means that I can move it around as well, which helps to see where the placement looks best, and it means that I can put it on top of any embellishments and nothing will show through the letters, so that's great. So yeah, I just stuck those titles in place with foam pads. Obviously I like everything to be raised up on foam pads, and now I'm going through a pack of ephemera that I've got. It's Pink Fresh Studio Out and About collection. I didn't have much of that collection, but I did end up with a pack of ephemera somehow, which I've never used because I didn't have the rest of the collection. So I thought that might work well here, and I just pulled out a couple of bits that would go well basically with the colours. I've also got these Pink Fresh Studio puffy hearts that I've had for absolutely ages and not used. I think they're from the Mix collection, because they don't belong to a particular collection, I haven't got around to using them, so they've just sat there in my stash for a while unused, so I thought I'd give them some love today. And you know, puffy hearts go with everything, right? So no problems there. So I'm just now utilising some star stickers that were on the Echo Park Summer Adventure sticker sheet, and now of course I'm adding in some beautiful sequins. I think it's called that Summer Feeling. I think I will list that in the comments below. I can't remember quite what it's called. I can't see it on the screen, it's too small, but I will list those sequins below. It's a new release and really beautiful by Spiegel Bum Scraps. They've got lots of beautiful colours in. You saw me sprinkle them at the top there. I had to pull out some colours that wouldn't work, and I just made sure that I sprinkled the colours that would work in the right areas, and then I'm just moving them all over to the side, putting down a blob of glossy accents and then moving the sequin back into place. I like them to look natural when I drop them. I like them to scatter as they would naturally, and then I just try and stick them down as they fall. Sometimes you get the odd stray one that doesn't work at all. Those puffy hearts I'm sticking in place with glossy accents because I'm pretty sure they will come off at some point, so I'm just going to give them some reinforcement there. I could have sewn through them, but I think the hearts are better stuck down rather than sewn. And I'm just handwriting in my journaling there. This layout's about my little boy who went to Beavers camp for the first time and was just so happy and excited to be there. So what a wonderful memory that is to document. He was definitely one happy camper. So I've just got that in there at the bottom with my favourite gel pen and the date I've written on one of the teepees, and now I'm just going in with a couple of colours of Shimmerz paint, and I'm just turning that into a spray or a paint that I can flick with a paintbrush. So I've just added a small amount of water and I'm then able to pick it up with a paintbrush and add my splatters. So I'm just adding splatters to wear the same areas that I've put the sequins. It doesn't add much, but it just gives a little bit more interest there. Okay, so that is me done. Make sure you check out the Confessions of a Paper Addict, the Great Outdoors release. There are some fantastic cut files available. If camping is your thing and being outdoors is your thing, then this is the release for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was Niki Rowland, guest designing for Confessions of a Paper Addict.